What's going on? It's your boy Sermon at Sermon's Domain on Twitter. When you think of TDE, you often think about Kendrick Lamar, or even SZA, who's been making a lot of waves lately. Schoolboy Q. But the OG of TDE is J-Rock. J-Rock is the one who was able to really open up the doors for TDE. Without him breaking out 2007, 2008, getting that Warner Brothers deal, getting that Lil Wayne verse, getting just the opportunity to put TDE on the map, who knows where the label would have went. Oftentimes though, J-Rock doesn't get the credit that he deserves. I feel like as everybody else got popular, J-Rock was kinda, left behind in a sense. He still got love, but when you think about it, J-Rock's not the most popular member on TDE. Still, J-Rock has always managed to impress anybody who's listening. If he's featured on a Kendrick song, a Schoolboy Q song, or somebody else that's not under TDE, he's always making sure to leave a lasting impression. J-Rock is about to release his third album titled Redemption on June 15th. This is a big one for him. This is probably the biggest album that he's put out thus far. And it's kind of cliche to say that, because I feel like a lot of artists, you could look at it like that. Like each album is supposed to be bigger than the last. But for J-Rock, this album really is going to be bigger than the last. In 2018 alone, J-Rock has been winning. King's Dead featuring Future and Kendrick Lamar has over 78 million plays on YouTube for the video. I don't even know how many on Spotify and iTunes and Tidal, but just there alone you can tell that this was a successful song. It's been everywhere. People have been quoting it. J-Rock killed it. It's one of those songs that you can't really escape. It grows on you. And so this is going to be on the album. On the solo J-Rock front, he also has a record out right now titled Win. And the video just came out last week, or 2 weeks ago. And it already has almost 2 million views. Not for nothing, that video is great. When the song first came out, I wasn't too big on Win. I thought it was moving away from what J-Rock is typically known for, in favor of going a little bit more mainstream. But when you listen to it over and over again, it does start to grow on you. There's a lot of potential with that record, and just having that positive message of, win, 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 win. It gets stuck in your head. So we've been talking a little bit about the album, and the track listing has finally surfaced. We got a week left to go, and the track listing is out now, and it looks really good. We're going to get production from Boy Wonder. We got Hit Boy, and the Hit Boy record is probably the one that I'm looking forward to the most. It's titled Wow Freestyle featuring Kendrick Lamar. Now, if you know anything about Kendrick and Hit Boy, you know the last time that they really created this huge record was the Backseat Freestyle. So just the fact that it's called Wow Freestyle makes me think that this might be something that really goes off. Something that J-Rock can use to really elevate himself to the next level. I think that is what Redemption is going to have. If Win doesn't end up being that huge record, and it definitely could, I think it's still slowly, bubbling. But if that's not the case, I feel like something out of the 13 songs is going to really take J-Rock to that next level. Because J-Rock definitely has the sound, he has the label backing, because his last album was just under TDE. This one is TDE/Interscope. So if you've watched the video for Win, you notice how much polished it is compared to J-Rock's videos in the past. That's because now they got that budget. They got that marketing behind the album. There is one omission from this track listing that could very well just be hidden for like a surprise element, but Jay-Z's name is not featured. Now, when J-Rock had a listening session for the album, Many people reported that Jay-Z was a feature, is going to be on this album. So I don't know what could have happened. Either he's hidden, because you look at King's Dead on the track listing and it just says featuring Future. It doesn't mention Kendrick Lamar, but I'm pretty sure it's not going to be a different version of the record. So it could be that Jay-Z's not listed for whatever reason, or maybe they didn't get it cleared in time, which would very well suck, because that is a dream feature for J-Rock. It's a huge record, and I would hate for it to not come out. Surely they can always just like drop it as a random single after the album, but I feel like it would have the most impact within the album. Having Jay-Z, having that buzz is going to get people to listen to this record, and if J-Rock is spazzing like I know he can, it's going to do wonders for him in his streaming numbers, because people are going to be like, damn, J-Rock really went off next to Jay-Z. I got to listen to this guy's album now. Regardless, we do have some pretty good features on here. It's not too feature heavy, but it's enough to feel like these guests are going to help where they're supposed to be on this album. The biggest name, not Kendrick Lamar, not named Kendrick Lamar, is J. Cole. He's on a record called OSOM. Jeremih is on a record titled Tap Out. I think that might be more along the lines of like a seductive radio sounding single. Think like when J-Rock and Chris Brown collaborated on Follow Me Home. The other guest on here that's listed is SZA. She's on a record called Redemption, the title track. I do think that we'll get some like surprises on the album, because if you know TDE releases, you often have the artists kind of like interweave themselves. They're not necessarily listed, but you listen to the album, you're like, oh, here's some Kendrick ad-libs. Oh, here's Schoolboy Q dropping in for like 4 bars. It's always been something like real random, but dating back to Follow Me Home, J-Rock's debut album, you've always seen like the chemistry that they've had as a family. It's not just a label, it's a family of people that have great chemistry together. One of the worries I had was that J-Rock was gonna go too far left from what I love about him. And I know we all have those artists that we want to see kind of stick in that similar lane, but J-Rock is not making Follow Me Home music anymore. It's just little shades of it, but that album was very raw. It was very street, and J-Rock as an artist is growing. He's around so many great creative minds that it would be crazy for me to not want him to, you know, brush off what everybody else is doing and want to evolve and grow as a person. Win is a product of that. King's Dead is a product of that. Then you got the intro that was released today as well. It's titled The Bloodiest. That is more in line with like some vintage J-Rock. But overall, I am excited for this album because I do want to hear this growth. It took me a little bit to come to my senses and realize like this is going to be a great thing for J-Rock. But I can honestly say that Redemption is going to be quite the album when it drops on June 15th. So those are my thoughts on the track listing, as well as a bunch of other random thoughts about J-Rock's career in this album. I will include the track listing in the description section so you can check that out. What song are you looking most forward to? Pretty sure I can answer that. It would be Wild Freestyle and OSOM because they have Kendrick and J. Cole respectively. So I want to hear from you. Talk to me in the comments section below, and then like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, share the video. Follow me on Twitter at @SermonsDomain. Check out some of my other content, more reviews, interviews, discussions, etc. And as always, I appreciate you for watching. Thank you for your time. And until next time, peace.